I wasn't too gravitated toward the law side all the way through until my incarceration. I mean, I'm looking at it like this is my life, this is what I do, and I'm gonna try to make the best of it, the best way I can.
And you said you had been incarcerated, or you had been locked up all those times when you were young. What were the typical charges? I mean, was it the full gamut?
Yes, I mean, like I first got locked up, I was 7. It was for stealing. You mean I
7?
Yes, sir. I couldn't get locked up because I was 7. You got to be 8 before you even could be processed.
I was 9.
You mean? Yeah. So as juveniles, we wound up in the same juvenile facility in different housing units.
Juvenile facility.
You mean, but and this all the way through. You mean, as adult, I was locked up 30-something times with different charges.
What were you locked up for when you were 11? What were you sent to the juvenile facility for?
Oh, truancy. You know, not going to school, doing this and doing that. You know, not obeying nobody. You know, so you go down 30 days, okay, and you come home. You know, you learn different things. You still learn the hustle because now in the reform school, you're not afraid of it because you done just got through it. You know, that's how I became the guy that I became, the guy that, you know, the reputation that I acquired.
What is the reputation?
Yeah, tough guy.
Tough guy.
Yeah, it's just that, you know, I mean, not the typical, I'm not going to do nothing rotten to nobody.
Uh-huh.
You know, but you ain't taking nothing. Yeah, that was our, you know, we making a lot of money. And when you make a lot of money, a lot of people try to take it. And you can't do that over here. That's the kind of fear, or that's the kind of way you have to be in the street. If you ain't gonna do to them what they gonna do to you, ain't no sense you being there.
And it wasn't just on that side. It's, even if somebody was connected to you, I mean, if everybody in this room, we all okay. I mean, you just ain't gonna do nothing to me. You ain't gonna do nothing to nobody in here.
In here.
I mean, if you do something to anybody in here, I mean, you'll see everybody.
We had 24 guys went to court with us. You couldn't do nothing to none of them. That's just how it is.
And that was for that was in the 80s when
70s and 80s.
70s and 80s, yeah. But for when you said went to court with you for the indictment that eventually, how many years did you do ultimately?
37.
37 and
29, 9.
And
30.
29 or 30 years. And so in that case, there was 24 of you?
Yeah.
And what were those charges were what, like RICO charges?
Yeah, continuing criminal enterprise.
It was 848 for
848.
me and him. Then it was for another guy, Magic, 848. Yep. And then the charges dropped down to conspiracy, distribution, you mean, stuff like that. But it was 3 of us that got the 848. One of the guys that's not here, he got 2 848s.
Wow.
I mean, he got one with us, and then he got one because he stayed out in the street. He caught another 848. So,
can you guys explain what that is? 848. Can you guys?
That's right. It's a criminal code. It's the federal criminal code for running a continuing criminal enterprise, which has to have a certain amount of money. I would say $5 million at the lowest end, and violence as well. So. Yeah, it's the kingpin charge.
Kingpin charge.
It doesn't get any higher than that.
At all. You know what's so unique about Peanut and their crew? Everybody did their time. Nobody told. Nowadays, motherfuckers get glorified in telling. Being a rat is like such an amazing thing nowadays. They stuck to that old school code. You do what you do, shut up, and do your time as a man. Nobody told in their crew.
And is that the way that you guys look at it? Is that part of being a man?
No, the way it was is it's about being fair.
Being fair.
It ain't about being a tough guy or you mean, or you kill people or you do bad shit to people. The thing is about like you just be fair as much as you can to everybody. So I mean, it won't be no animosity towards you according to what comes back from if something happened to them. You know, so by being fair and being helpful to everybody, it seems like, they don't have a real reason to do nothing to you. You do something dirty to somebody, then this shit happens. The first thing they say is, well, you can get rid of them by telling on them. You mean, so you can tell, but if it's somebody that did, all good to you, you start to look at it different. And out of a big case with a bunch of money involved, that they couldn't get one person to tell on the inside.
And look, I know, because I know what your commitment is now, and like what these guys are saying is you've always been committed to your community, and you're playing the cards that you were dealt, and you gave back. I understand that, and I know that that's what your commitment is now as well, and you want to do it in a different way. And I fundamentally believe it's a theme that we keep kind of going back to on this show, that only if you've really been in that valley can you really talk to others that might be in it to try to lift them out of it and try to show them a different way. No one's going to listen to somebody who hasn't been there. Can you tell me just sort of the other side of that? Like describe to me a little bit about your guys' lives, say in the 1970s. What did that look like? What kind of money, what kind of lifestyle, what was that like? And I want to know, like, during the peak of that, would you guys say you were happy?
I was.
Joe answered.
Can you explain?
Yeah, because the enjoyment that you get out of having money.
Yeah.
All the like I said again, the Devil's Playground. He got everything: strip clubs. He got drugs. He got women. He got everything. You want to be Peanut King? He gonna make you that, but you got consequences that come with that.
What are those consequences?
Jail or death, or you gonna sell your soul. One or the other. So but if you're not looking like at that, the jail or the death, and you're a part of the street, and you're a part of the Devil Playground, and you playing by his rules, it's nothing you can do. Everything has to be. You have to take care of everything you have to take care of, man, because you can get it. And me, I ain't never been shot, stabbed, or knocked out. So.
Why is that?
That's how you got to put that
I
pain.
mean, it's I'm fast. I'm pretty, I'm fast.
Do you believe if you've sold your soul to the devil, do you believe if you've done that, do you believe that there's a way to buy it back?
No.
Hell no.
No, you ain't getting that back. He don't need no money. He don't need nothing. All he wants is pain and misery. That's all he wants. And that's all we was, you dishing out. You got to do what he say. And when you finish, you can get out. You ain't got to pay nothing to get in, but you got to pay to get out. You gonna pay. So is you gonna pay with the 30 years that we done, or is you gonna pay laying in that pine box? He wants you crying. He don't want you happy. You can't give him nothing. But if you graduate to the other side of that, on the positive, and understand that side also, and that's where we come in at. That's what they was just talking about. You looking at both sides. You recognize it.
Enormous ability to serve. You have enormous power there. There's a million people all over this country, all over this world that engage in illegal activity, people that are in circumstances that were probably similar to yours. I knew people that I grew up with and where I grew up, everybody, right? But there's something about what you guys did, that kingpin thing, there's not too many of those. Can you tell me what was unique?
I looked at like in the 70s, for me, it was really the stepping stone to really get out there. I met Joe in, I think it was 72. Again, we was up Hagerstown, they call that like the Pentagon. And we got together through a crap game.
I'm sorry, and this is why you were incarcerated?
Yes, this is why I was incarcerated. We had got together, but I had made my mind up before I went to prison. I was 17 then, and that shit was so off that it got to be another way to get all this stuff done. Because it wasn't making no sense. You give your all in all, and and you don't get shit in return. And at the end of the day, you start off again tomorrow.
You don't have anything to show for it.
Yeah, and it continues that way.
Right.
So after getting incarcerated, you start to have time to evaluate things. We met in '72. I think it was through a crack gang. Mm-hmm. We was going to beat some other guy, and we got together and knocked him off. And then after that, we started to grow and start sharing ideas and stuff like that. I got home before him in the 70s.
75.
Yeah, 75. What happened?
I came home.
Did you come home when I came to get you?
I came to
That
halfway
time?
house. I came in the halfway house, and I came to met you up by your house.
Oh, okay.
And we talked.
What was that conversation?
Just conversation about what we was going to do. You always get guys that, when they locked up, when we get out, man, we're going to get together and do this and that. And we did that for real.